Okay, what's this?
Anime memes have absolutely no filter whatsoever, and they've become so normalized in the community you wouldn't even blink an eye if you saw someone use it. But it did make me realize 99% of the people who use these memes have no clue where they're from, me included. Like, have you ever wondered what caused Pikachu to react like this? Do you even know that this panel comes from one of the darkest manga of all time? So I sought to find the context of some of the most iconic memes in the current culture, and we're gonna go in order from some of the basic ones to some of the most popular. And trust me, some are shocking, especially the fraud "it's over 9,000" meme. You don't even know how bad you've been lied to. So let's start with the easy ones.
Let's go into it.
When this dropped, it was an instant banger. It was like when Bleacher Report drops their quote graphics. You just knew, I am here. There is no greater security. Was going to be using edits, memes, and fan art for fucking years to come.
Absolute cinema.
99% of the people that use this meme have not read or watched Bleach and have zero clue that the context
Is this
is way goofier than you can imagine. Basically, the strong, wise elder of the series, Yamamoto, is fighting the big bad of the series you watch. And what proceeded to happen was, to be fair, an epic battle that truly was living up to the hype, but Yamamoto ultimately lost. But that's not even where the irony comes in. Yamamoto did not just lose. He lost to a fake version of the final villain, and when he was on his last leg, the real version of your watch pulled up to finish him off. And it's just like, dude,
bruh.
He put himself and his family in generational aura debt, and he's over 2,000 years old. The iconic, tried to scream and I'll choke you with my breasts, a meme that has far left the anime community, coming from the mecha, anime, manga, visual novel, Love. I think I pronounced that right. In the context of this universe, the actual meme is wild. Like, it could not be more different. For one, the story is an Edge of Tomorrow-esque narrative where the main character essentially gets to relive parts of his life trying to save humanity from themselves and these aliens called Beta. Definitely some Chinatown Eva stuff going down. And he, of course, has a band of comrades that are all girls, drawn in promiscuous ways. And in this situation, he got into an argument with one of the girls and she runs off, dropping this letter. He then tries to give her the letter back, prompting her to do this. And the actual scene is her basically saying she's going to kill him if he saw what was in the letter, prompting him to do this. Which looks even crazier than the other panel. And he's like, what the fuck could possibly be in this letter that you're gonna kill me for? So given this dodgy situation, the girl realizes there's only one logical thing to do. She takes off all her clothes and says, "This is my room, I'm about to go shower, so either leave me alone or stare at me shower." But like, dude, what is this author on?
True, like, who the hell goes out of their way to basically strip naked and tell you either watch me shower or leave my room? What the hell? That herb needs to be made illegal if that's what he's smoking. What in darnation? No way in hell a girl would do that. If anything, the moment you do that, she's gonna kick you, scream at you, and fucking call 911. First things first. No way in hell someone's gonna let you stare at them, let alone start stripping in front of you. Like, what? What nonsense is that?
Like, what could the context of this even be? And when you actually get the context, you're like, how did anyone even think to swap that out for that?
Yeah.
Man, this image sums up 2025 in a nutshell, like straight up. Like, I'm not built for this shit. Please stop giving me your toughest battles, God, because I am not the strongest soldier. And the context of this one mirrors it perfectly, like picture perfect. This is from the Anime of the Year winner Cyberpunk, and it's about a gang of edgers who pull off heists. And they do
we know the
stuff like
the standard bullshit.
Government, fuck capitalism, all that type of shit. And in this world, you can get cybernetic enhancements that make you stronger, faster, as well as get unique abilities. And the mentor of the series, Main, is super strong, but he's on a lot of that cybernetic shit, like way more cyber than most humans. And the trade-off is that although it makes you stronger, the more you use your abilities, your brain starts to fry and you start losing it. And our main character, David, turns into a junkie in training with his boss, Main. But after a mission gone wrong, Main has to tap into his abilities even more than normal, and he fully starts spazzing out, shooting friendlies, killing their clients, as well as hundreds of officers. They even do the classic classic anime desert scene where you go into the character's psyche and it's all just nothing to further encapsulate, like, nah, this dude is fried. He then fully unleashes all of his abilities, sacrificing himself, while David is sitting there, clinging to Main's iron hand that is all that's left of him, and he hits the classic Vietnam pose.
Vietnam pose.
Inspiration between that and the Vietnam meme. I don't know which way it might be, but I still think that looking at remixes of these, more often than not, you're just like, damn. How did someone draw that?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
This is the one that gets reposted on Twitter all the time. The iconic panel of a man making out with a woman in his car while being watched by another woman, only for that woman to turn out to be his wife. And that's like an insane amount of storytelling in one panel for one, but it's also like insane
like
out
what?
of context.
Incarnation?
It's the context, because contextually this context is out of context with context.
Not the cap.
This story is called Haru-kun, which is about a young girl who moved back to her small hometown after having a rough love life in Tokyo, where all of her partners lied to her about being single when in actuality they were all married. But when she goes home, there's a new ordinance that to combat the declining birth rate of Japan, men are allowed to take multiple wives, and each person in the marriage will get a stipend for participating. And she is then approached by this emo-looking guy who offers her 10 million yen to join his harem as his third wife. Boom, boom, a bunch of story and ecchi and romance stuff later, we jump ahead to a point where the second wife has run away, and our main character, wife 3, realizes that she ran away because she might be pregnant, and the person the guy is making out with is wife 1. The other person in the car is also his wife. Like, that is insane. But because
The Pikachu meme.
wife 2 is why wife 3 looks so serious. And the final cherry on top of this all is that Haru-kun is a play on words because it sounds like harem marriage in Japanese. And I have seen this panel posted so many times, and I feel like nobody once clarified that the other person in the car was his wife. But to be fair, that's kind of like a lot to explain.
This is one of
True.
the
I
ones
mean,
like,
it's
the actual
nonsense
context of
and
it is
wild
enough. Like,
by all
that's all
accounts.
I actually need.
This one.
This is a classic, and while Naruto saving Adolf is iconic, unfortunately, there are hundreds of other variations of this, and I always thought how weird this must look for non-anime fans to just see some shit like this. Well, actually, you know,
I remember this one being for Obito, if I remember correctly. Because that was like the panel that basically had like that inner mind conference interaction, and they basically just said, what was it? Oh, basically compared lives and everything, and that was basically the thing that convinced Obito to join Naruto's side.
in the climate of 2025, I think some people probably agree with this message for some reason. And you'll be shocked to find out that the actual context of this image isn't too different from the meme
Hey,
itself.
it is Obito.
Basically, Naruto is a story with a ton of broken heroes, and it comes from an era where villains tended to have super deep backstories and were very fleshed out with dozens of episodes to them, and a lot of the villains in Naruto ended up having a lot of time dedicated to them, where they weren't born evil, but the world did something to them in order to make them lose their shit.
Basically, realism and interaction between characters, in a sense.
But this situation is an extreme of extremes. It's during the final war in Naruto, and the character Obito has declared war on the entire world, and essentially committed atrocities that led to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people.
Basically, going through the entirety of the, what was it, list? The, Geneva Convention list.
I mean, this dude almost destroyed a city at the age of 16, and he helped kill his whole clan, and now he's responsible for all this death and destruction. But somehow, after Naruto beats him, he comes around to tell this man to join him and to forgive him. And I'll be honest, the way this was written, excluding the genocide and all, would have worked out. Except you can't exclude genocide. It's not like Obito here killed 5 people, or he had a bad day and killed 10 people. Like, nah, this dude straight up took out like half of the universe, and Naruto talking about some, join us? Join us? Like, what the hell? You go to his side.
I mean, to be fair, what was it? You had, first off, Pain, who pretty much killed everyone. But you see, the difference between this Obito and Pain is that Pain basically realized, damn, man, I fucked up, and basically resurrected everyone he murdered. Like, straight up resurrected everyone for exchange for his own life. And meanwhile, Obito pretty much killed many and didn't resurrect anyone. I mean, he was actually going to do it, if I remember correctly, right? Like, he was basically going to resurrect everyone with his Rinnegan. Basically, same verse, same as the first with Pain. Nagato, more specifically. But he was, like, cut off by Black Zetsu, I remember. I have pointless Naruto lore, but I think that's how it was. I think he was gonna do the exact same as Nagato, but he got cut off midway, and basically Madara took over and was basically the new main villain. Until he got betrayed and Kaguya became the main villain, but details.
I'm not surprised that this has led to some of the most ridiculous remixes you can imagine. But you know what else is ridiculous? Me. I'm an idiot. I'm a goober. I'm an absolute dingus. So please, leave a like, subscribe, and leave a hype because I'm just pathetic. I just need it. I'm a
Here you go, man. You deserve
The
it too.
infamous Babe Please meme, creating iconic memes and Dude Bro
My
memes
6
for
followers.
a really fucking long time. This was one that popped off before anime in general did, so let me tell you my shock when I figured out how dark this manga actually is. This warrants a bit of a trigger warning to abuse, so just be warned. This comes from the manga Magical Girl site, and I'm gonna give you the rundown of the first couple chapters to give you some scope, and just know the panel comes in at chapter 103, which we will jump to. So the manga starts off with this girl, Aya, getting bullied at school. Between her desk getting destroyed to getting her head stuck in toilets, and all she has to her that she enjoys is this stray cat. And she spends time with it and has some happy moments in her very dark life. Because at home, her brother ties her up to just like beat the shit out of her and choke her. It's some like really dark shit. And one night, a website popped up basically saying it will grant her a magic stick. Not really saying what the stick would do or any other details. And then the next day rolls around and her cat, the only friend she had, gets run over by a train. Yes, that is actually what happened, causing Aya to run to school, and she sees a magical gun there in her locker.
What? A magical gun?
Her for her pet cat dying. Yes, they're mocking her for it. To make matters worse, this guy, who's supposed to be a third-year middle school student, tries to do things to her, prompting her to run away. But while on the prowl, this guy is still chasing her. So she decides to try out her new magical gun on the guy, leading to him and one of the bullies to get run over by a train. She's just like, what the fuck is going on? How did they just die? Was that me? And that's
maybe
the
the gun
alone, which is kind of like a meme of how bad you can make a character's backstory. Like, Jesus Christ, that is brutal. To
This
think
is
that this is a
awful,
manga
man.
that's laughed at for the most part is wild. But the specific context of that...
I mean, to be fair, cut off panels without any explanation put into funny context is kind of comedy in general, is it not?
panel is even crazier. So jumping to chapter 103, and Aya reaches home one day after a long night of magical grilling, and her father is crashing out on her, where he reveals that their mother had a miscarriage after her brother was born, and she could no longer have children, revealing to Aya that she is adopted, and that he hates her and can't stand her, and he has like magical panties on too. I don't fucking know, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on. So when the mother
I'm completely lost as well.
He stops time with his magical panties and hits her back when she reveals that the reason that she had a miscarriage was because of him to begin with. And he's screaming at the mother, like at the top of his lungs, saying the most heinous shit. You then flip the page, and this panel is dropped of Aya crying out in absolute mercy, to which her father says she's a piece of shit. She's not even a part of the family, and asks why the fuck would she be crying. As you can see, it's some pretty dark stuff.
But if you do want to see someone talk about it more in depth, the Masked Man has great videos.
Nah, thanks. Keep that depressing shit away from my life. I'm perfectly fine the way I am. If you shouldn't read that thing in general. Don't recommend it. What intonation?
Videos on it. He is an absolute killer of a creator, and he will probably talk about it way more in depth than I did.
The meme of the Great Leviathan has been remixed to hell, and honestly, I'm not sure if this is the original sourcing of it, and it's no surprise it comes from one of the most controversial anime of all time, with the context of it equaling the ridiculousness of the meme itself. If you're not familiar with the dark fantasy redo of Healer, it's basically a revenge plot where this guy goes back in time with a shit ton of abilities and turns all of his former enemies into his pets. Let's use pets. And he has intimate relations with them. Basically,
subtle, I
do
guess.
the deed with all of his subordinates. But one subordinate was not yet ready to partake. But as you can see, the main character's weapon was already primed, casting a fast shadow over the demon elf, who was a bit hesitant to partake. And it has now become one of the most popular meme formats of all time. Like, I don't know if people know how dark the original source material is, but jeez, man.
But I am like curious, like if people did know the actual context of this, would it stop them from like making a joke out of it and using it as a meme?
No. Like, again, taking things out of context and putting them in comedic skits is pretty much like comedy in general. Dark comedy as well. It's like, what are you on about? Obviously, they're still going to use it regardless.
Probably not.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Dog, I watch Akira and I barely know what the fuck is going on in this meme. I feel like when people use this meme, it's only to indicate when someone's tweaking out, and I feel like the context of it matches that level of confusion. This kid is basically like getting possessed something by these ghost grandmas.
No, he's basically, what was it, unlocked psychic powers or something like that? Something.
They were really
or
messing
other.
with his head. Like, they were causing Lil Bro to tweak the hell out. But he ended up having a run where he seemed like he was normal again, where it seemed like they had fucked off, which is why he was just on this stroll. But then he just starts crashing out of nowhere on some Vietnam flashback shit. And he goes on to like blow up half the fucking city after this scene because he just had enough of these ghosts rage baiting.
I don't think he'll
Rage
ever stop
baiting.
using this meme because you can like replace the thing that's making him go crazy with literally anything.
Yeah.
Akira is to what like travel influencers are to anime. Like you can watch an Akira edit and get a gist of it. Like, you know, the whole thing where it's like, oh, the hand drew everything. But it's also like when you watch it, it is never what you're expecting. The Akira slide is just the Akira slide. Like that's it.
This isn't really a meme, so much so as it is like a profile picture, but I swear for 10 years I saw this image on the top of every fucking multiplayer game. When I finally got to watching Tokyo Ghoul, it was kind of anticlimactic. Basically what happened is the
Really?
main character Kaneki lost his memories and assumed a new identity as Heist Sasuke. And Tokyo Ghoul is kind of like Demon Slayer, where Demon Slayers hunt demons, ghoul investigators investigate ghouls, and he switched from the ghoul side to the ghoul investigation side under this name Sasaki. But one day he gets into a fight with a ghoul that was a former comrade, and he proceeds to get this shit beat out of him. Like, they're absolutely taking him to town. And due to this ass beating, it triggers the all-powerful anime flashback, where his inner self, his true self, just starts rage baiting the shit out of him, causing Sasaki to
Why
give over
rage
control
baiting
of it,
always?
and hits this pose. And yeah, he basically goes full Alex Pereira on these guys and destroys the shit out of them.
Honestly, that was a bit more climactic than I remember now that I've run through it. But man, like, you know what got me thinking? Like, Tokyo Ghoul is so popular, and I feel like Tokyo Ghoul and Sword Art have been, like, lost in the history of anime. And
Except for girls. For some reason, girls seem to watch those more often, which is, like, weird. Why exactly do they watch them so often? I don't know. Maybe it's because of the romance and the tragedy stuff. A lot of girls seem to like the bad boys. Don't quote me on this. Actually, never mind. Quote me on this.
I hope Tokyo Ghoul at least gets remakes.
When I first saw this post spread around Twitter, I could have never guessed the context. And honestly, I thought the post wasn't altered. Like, I thought this was the actual panel. But boy, oh boy, was I wrong. This post comes from the manga Jadame Kasua. And it might have the stupidest, wildest, but craziest premise you can think of. We follow a young girl whose mom leaves her completely sheltered and hid away from the world, where she has literally never seen a movie, anime, or manga in her life. And one day she realizes
That's
that all the other
very
kids in school are way more comfortable with lewd stuff than she is. So she ends up joining the film club at school as an unofficial member so she can watch movies and learn about the world. When she asks her mom if she can officially join, her mom crashes out and is like, fuck no, movies, they're gonna ruin you, they're gonna turn you into a criminal, they're gonna be a bad influence on you. For her to find out that her mother is obsessed with the movie Constantine, to the point where she used to cosplay as the characters in the universe. When asked what the real reason was that she was so strict with her daughter, her mother could not and would not respond, leaving her daughter to literally say, don't fuck with me. Why aren't you telling me why I'm locked up in here? It's fucking weird, Mom. And that panel, that is a meme of her yelling, please just listen to me for a second. Which is pretty ironic because the girl proceeds to run away right after saying this. Honestly, man, that's pretty. Imagine how the mom feels. Like, she was probably ready
she's
to
probably
listen to the
like,
girl
maybe I was
straight
going
away.
to tell you.
This is one of the ones where I feel like the actual context is somehow even more crazy than the crazy meme text that replaced it. But honestly, I guess in like doujin culture nowadays, like that probably ain't even the craziest thing you could read.
What do you mean by that? What?
That's just what
What do you mean Dojin culture? What's going on in that thing?
The ultimate clapback found in all forms of discussion, bringing in hundreds of thousands of ratios. Seeing this is equivalent of when someone repeats your words back with a funny voice. This is a weapon of mass destruction, but the context is pretty goofy, but also pretty wholesome. This is an anime from the 90s called The Brave Fighter of Sun Fightbird, where the main character, Katori, is an android who is trying to study and understand Earth and humans. And when Katori is having a conversation with a detective, he notices a butterfly, to which he asks a genuine clarifying question. If that was a pigeon. What's even better is right after he asks this genuine question, he asks another one where he asks if these tulips are violets. Now, honestly, I have no idea if those are tulips. They actually could be violets. I have no clue.
To think such an innocent and genuine question and plot could be defiled by dark magic to be used in arguments is crazy. It's so cool, though, I can't lie.
Tactical nuke incoming!
This is one of the oldest memes. A meme as old as time itself, and I'm about to blow your mind. That thing behind Pikachu is Brock's leg. And if you're wondering why the quality is always so bad, this is the original image. How do people even spot that? Like, this is a fast-moving frame. It's barely on screen for a second. There isn't too much context needed beyond the fact that they catch a Bulbasaur, and while they catch it, it's fighting a Butterfree. And this is Pikachu's reaction to Bulbasaur using Gus.
I think what shocks me the most about this is just how like small Pikachu is. Like, he really is tiny, and like whoever found this out gotta get hired by like the CIA. He probably makes them wear Waldo books. Dude, how do you even, like, it's barely on screen.
I mean, it's not that
This
difficult.
might have been the most popular meme of 2023, unironically, and it's caused so many of us to get the Jujutsu Kaisen manga communities into our algorithms, leading to all of us getting spoiled on the manga, which...
I mean, honestly, I was kind of expecting to read it or watch it, but after, like, my friend said I'll like it, I was just like, I mean, no offense, he knows me well, but not that well to basically when he tells me I'll like it, because when he tells me I like it, chances are I'm gonna actually hate it. So I'm still kind of like, I don't know, never watched it, never read it, don't give a shit.
which was really fucking annoying. But to avoid spoilers, I'm just gonna explain this broadly. Someone asked Gojo if he thought he would lose to someone else, to which he said, nah, I'd win. That's really it. I mean, the outcome would be a spoiler if I said it, but I also do think the manga just blew up because it kind of looks goofy. Like, not that it looks bad or anything.
It's
I
simplified.
think it's just the way his eyes look and his hair just makes the panel stick out a bit more than it was intended to.
Now, I don't think there's any other meme in this entire list that has got remixed as much as this one. Like, Jesus Christ, from like Mushoku Tensei to VTubers to Elden
I'd
to
win,
Family Guy.
I'd
Like, it can literally, these remakes.
Peter in manga style? And some Squidward.
Dog, this might be one of my favorite memes ever, but I swear the meme version looks more real than the actual one. And prepare, you're gonna be so disappointed by this context. So this comes late in Oshinoko. This will be spoiler.
Oh, the one where
the kids,
the girl got murdered, right? I remember that basically, and everything else was just kind of like I never watched.
become actors and they work on a movie, and this was a person's reaction to the movie they made. So nothing crazy there, but what is very underwhelming is what is actually said. The actual text isn't a person's reaction, but it's a narration reading. However, these tears are neither of those. With the call to this text being on the prior page reading, there must have been a sense of pride to be involved with this movie. Some people must have cried because the story is sad.
I'm so sorry for revealing this to you. Like, the actual context of this one is so underwhelming.
I mean, it's
so ass.
I mean, that's why they changed the context, because it makes it funnier. Again, no context and slight alterations is the best.
From that incest manga.
NANI?
The OG Nani. In doing research for this, I found a Reddit thread from 2017, pre-anime blow up during COVID, on r/OutOfTheLoop, where people were asking why everyone was going around saying Nani, and someone respectfully explained, that is how you say what in Japanese. I just thought that was kind of wholesome, I'm not gonna lie. But this
I mean,
is one of
yeah,
the first
explain
memes
it,
to
which is
truly
kinda
go
nice.
viral and leave the anime scope. And it's from the OG of all OGs, Fist of the North Star. And I feel like just playing the full
Kenshiro,
clip
the
gives
boy.
you all the context you need.
貴様の拳などかほどにも効かんわい。お前はもう死んでいる。何？
The voice acting was pretty cool, and honestly, for it to come from such a legendary anime is sick. And I'm so happy the original Nani is in that context. Like, that is perfect. That is exactly what Nani means all these years later.
It's over 9,000!
A classic, but there's some serious controversy here. But first, let me explain.
Is it about the power?
It's pretty basic. It's just Vegeta scanning the power levels of Goku, to which he said,
It's over 9,000!
one of the reasons this is so popular because of how the English dub voice actor screamed it. Likely because of the mouth being left open for so long, he just had to come up with something.
But the other thing I found out in my research is that it's not even over 9,000 in what he says. Like in the manga, it's over 8,000. And I think in every other dub, he says over 8,000. Like that is nuts.
I think they changed his mind either to sound more dramatic or to match with the lip syncing, because if they said 8,000, it would have probably not filled up that well with the lip syncing. I think that was the main reason. The other reason is because, well, really, does anyone care that much? Power levels are bullshit. Like, everyone knows this from Dragon Ball. They're nonsense. They're bullshit. No one cares about them that much. So it's kind of funny to hear that and basically go, eh.
But if you want to know what else is nuts, did you know a YouTuber made an anime? And if you do want to know more about that, click this video right here, leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget, we're just inside and I'll see you in another video.
I didn't even get that. What the hell? I had no idea YouTubers made a video with an anime. That's an interesting thing to leave off on, but I could honestly care less.